Hello guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be discussing with you 10 things you need to know before and during cutting fabrics. As a tailor, whether a beginner or an intermediary, there are certain things you need to have knowledge of before you pick up scissors and fabrics and then begin to cut them on the table. These 10 things are very crucial and you cannot do without taking cognizance of this. So all you need to do is sit back and relax with a glass of water as I take you through the teaching of today. Also remember to subscribe to this channel and turn on your bell notification so that you don't miss out on our videos every week. If you derive knowledge from this video, ensure you like this video so that more people will see and benefit from it. Feel free to share this video with your friends and help them learn more about sewing, okay? Alright, let's get right into the tutorial for today.
Hello, we'll be talking about 10 tips for cutting fabrics.
Don't use a low table for pressing, ironing, or cutting. The height of your table should be between 3 feet to 3.3 feet high, or proportional to your waist level. Using a low table might result in waist or back pain.
Iron wrinkled fabric. Take some time to iron wrinkled fabric. This will enable you mark and cut on a smooth fabric. Ironing the fabric before layout gives you the knowledge of the fabric structure, because some fabric tends to stretch or shrink when they are ironed. It is advisable to iron in the direction of the fabric grain. Not ironing the fabric before layout will result in too short or too small or too big garments. Know the style and the quantity of fabric required. The style you want to make, the maximum length and circumference of your client, the amount of seam allowance adequate for the style, and the total width of the fabric will determine the quantity of fabric to be used per yard or per trouser length. Identify right side from wrong side of the fabric. Fabrics are so finely produced such that it is sometimes difficult to identify right side from wrong side. The right side is the face of the fabric that is meant to be seen. When you take a look at the selvage, you will notice tiny holes. The side from which the holes are bulging or sticking out is the right side of the fabric on some woolen fabrics like the cashmere. As you can see, this is the side from which the holes are sticking out, and you can see that this side is rough, while the side that is smooth on this type of fabric is the wrong side. You can see that the wrong side is not as pretty as the right side. However, there are some other fabrics that the rough side, which is the side that the holes stick out from, is the wrong side. Like this one you can see on the screen. This is the wrong side, and the wrong side here is the side from which the holes are sticking out, whereas the smooth side is the face of the fabric, the side from which the holes are punched. And also on some crepe materials like this, you also notice the same thing. The side from which the holes are sticking out is the wrong side, as you can see on this crepe fabric, whereas the right side is the smooth side from which the holes are punched. However, the fold of the fabric can serve as a guide to identifying right side from wrong side. Fabrics like the Italian cashmere is folded on the wrong side out. As you can see, this is the wrong side, folded out, whereas the right side is folded in. Other fabrics that the right sides are folded out, like this virgin wool fabric in my hand, the right side is folded out. Another way through which you can identify the right side is to look at the silk edge. The silk edge is branded. The readable side is the right side. As you can see, this veritable wax super rima. This is Italian cashmere made in Italy. Mark the wrong side of the fabric. After identifying the wrong side of the fabric, it is better to mark the wrong side of the fabric to avoid cut and miss wrong and right side during cutting and sewing process. Fold and cut fabrics on the grain. The grain is the direction in which the yarn of the fabric is woven or knitted, and this part of the fabric called the grain runs parallel to the silk edge. So you can identify the grain by looking at the silk edge. The side the silk edge runs is the grain line. So it is advisable to fold and cut fabric on the grain line because it is the most suitable part of the fabric. It doesn't have any stretchability, especially on some woven fabrics like the cashmere and other suit fabrics. So always cut your fabric on the grain line, and do not make the mistake of missing the grain lines, using the lengthwise for the sleeve and using the lengthwise for the sleeve and using the crosswise for the body. So ensure you are using the correct grain line. Align your grain line. The way you cut the bodies on the grain line is the same way you cut the sleeve, because they are all facing down, they are vertical. It is the vertical aspect of the body. They are all facing down. So ensure you use the grain line to cut the bodies and to also cut the sleeve. Don't make the mistake of using the grain line, which is the lengthwise grain, to cut the bodies, and then on the sleeve you are using the crosswise grain. It will always be visible. Fold and cut on the wrong side always. It is advisable to always fold and cut fabrics on the wrong side because of measurement markings during layout. So always use the wrong side so that your pencil or your chalk marks are not seen on the right side.
Determine your seam allowance. During marking or layout, use appropriate and adequate seam allowances according to the seam finish. Use the right shear and cutting method. During cutting, use a sharp shear to cut long and clean strokes to get the possible cleanest finish. Use shears or the dressmaker's scissors to enable you glide through the fabric at a straight angle. Fabric control. Some fabrics like silk, chiffon, and crepe can be very slippery and unsteady. Getting straight lines and cutting quickly becomes a challenge. It is therefore advisable to use pins and other aids to secure the fabric in place during layout and cutting. Thanks for watching this video.